In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II championships, and since 2000, Spartan teams have won 35 Sunshine State Conference titles. As a member of the University of Tampa Spartan family, you are a guiding force behind UT's remarkable success. We are alums, students, parents, and friends, and together we are changing lives. We are individuals, yet the greater whole is only complete when we work together. You have helped make UT a vibrant community with growing resources and a superior reputation. Just like in the beginning when professors worked without pay, the spirit of giving at UT remains strong. Last year, nearly $14 million was donated to the university by thousands of generous supporters. When we strengthen education, we strengthen our job force and our nation as a whole. Donations support academics, campus life, and a student's ability to afford an education. Your participation is what matters most and shows that our Spartan family believes in the future of UT. Whatever level of support, your gift is important to us and enables UT to provide the challenging, high-quality education that has defined our university. Thank you for helping UT achieve such great success.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. The UT experience begins with an innovative first-year program and continues with opportunities to challenge yourself in the honors program, to study abroad, to conduct research with faculty, to do an internship, to volunteer in the community, or to participate in multiple leadership programs. Explore your dreams, discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa. This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams, discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
In addition to the
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Will that be tolerated
And welcome to University of Tampa Baseball, the third game of a three-game weekend series against Georgia College. The number 3 ranked Tampa Spartans looking to complete a 3-game sweep of Georgia College. Hi, everybody. Jack Ike along with Taylor Stolworthy and Ornaldo running the board for us, making us look good and sound good. We appreciate that. Spartans with a walk-off win yesterday in extra innings. 2-1 was the final score. Jamarcus Lyons knocking a single through the infield to give the Spartans the 2-1 win in 11, a 5-0 win on Friday. We'll have the lineups right after the national anthem. This is the first of 3 homestands that the Spartans will have, or home games series, I should say, that the Spartans will have 9 consecutive home games for the Spartans, 3 consecutive series. Quincy coming up next weekend, and we'll have those games as well. This is the conclusion of this weekend's game, and Taylor, yes, what we've seen over the weekend is the pitchers have pretty well dominated early in the season.
I think yesterday was very much a pitcher's duel. If you take a look at it, great starts from both the Spartans and Georgia's staff. I mean, for the Spartans, had Eli Thurman going 6 innings. Braden Nelson came in, was nearly able to finish it up, but Tutton, just a lucky hit. And even though it is a little bit, hey, you're being unfair to Tutton's calling it lucky, it kind of was. It hit off the top of the fence and was a home run. Otherwise, Nelson was pretty much unhittable throughout his first appearance from the bullpen for the Spartans. Great appearances as well for Georgia College's pitching. And I think the Spartans, in a way, even though they were ready, they were knocking on the door all day, it took a little while for them to get the win, and they can thank Jamarcus Lyons for finding that hit down the line, getting past Tutton. And you know what? Maybe he was a little bit jealous of Tutton, because Tutton had one that got over the wall. Yeah. He had one just 3 feet away earlier in the game, but that was his 7th attempt at the plate. He had 6 balls in play. That 7th one got the win, and we're going to be excited to see what he can do as he's starting at first base today.
Yeah, he has hit the ball well. Spartans will start Alex Caney on the mound. The righty is a sophomore from Valrico, Florida. His numbers last year, he had 12 appearances. 7 of them were starts, had a 1-0 record, 39 1/3 innings, gave up 31 hits, I should say, 8 runs, only 7 earned. Struck out 43, walked 11, a 1.6. Pretty stellar ERA for Alex Caney. His battery mate will be Garavito behind the plate today. The starting lineups, the batting order for Georgia College are moving it around a little bit. They will start at second base, number 32, Graham Worth. Gabriel Worth, I should say, a freshman from Woodstock, Georgia. He'll be playing second base. Third base, batting second, is Ben Tutton. Tutton is a senior from Bristol, Georgia. Batting third is the right fielder, number 22, and that's Brandon Bellflower. He is a junior from Powder Springs, or Milledgeville, Georgia. Batting cleanup is the first baseman, number 27, Mason Spivey, a junior from Appling, Georgia. Batting fifth is the shortstop. He had been playing second base, but has moved to shortstop for this game, Palmer Sapp, and he is a junior from Dawsonville, Georgia. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 7, Hunter Baker, a senior from Huntersville, North Carolina. Batting seventh is the designated hitter, number 39, Rand Besterman. He is a freshman from Suwanee, Georgia. First pitch of the game, fouled off. And an E, what would that be? An E on the third base coach. He didn't handle it
E10
cleanly.
potentially,
E10,
maybe
E10.
E11.
Yeah,
Good attempt at the grab, though.
First base coach gets the 10 spot. Third base coach will get the 11. So an E11.
Actually, maybe the manager gets the 10 spot, 11 for first base, 12 for third base, maybe 13 for the home plate umpire.
And that one, similar spot, but he bloops it in for a base hit. He's going to turn the corner and stay. So Worth with a just a base hit that got over the infield and stayed fair.
I'll say smart to bring in Worth here. He's done well as a pinch hitter. He's worked good counts and delivered, I think, a few times getting on base throughout the series. And a nice little bloop single there to get down. Good arm from Lala to prevent it from turning to a opening double.
Tutton, who had the home run yesterday, has 2 home runs on the year. They opened up the season on Wednesday against Emmanuel College. He had the game-winning home run in that one. First pitch a little high to complete the batting order. Batting 8th is number 17 behind the plate, Trevor Knowles. He is a junior from Folkestone, Georgia. And batting 9th, number 29. And that's Evan Cohen, a freshman from Richmond Hill, Georgia. Runner goes, base hit over the outstretched arms of Jamarcus Lyons. That'll put runners on the corners. First 2 batters getting base hits and sending one into scoring position.
A sharp grounder there and a great attempt from Lyons, but just not enough. Would have had to been like 6'7" or 6'8" to make that play. It was perfectly hit down the middle. So,
well,
Caney.
If you notice, Worth, lefty, goes opposite field. Tutton, righty, goes opposite field. A couple hits early.
It's always good to pull it because even though the shift is banned, teams might be slightly favoring the pull side. So,
this brings Bellflower to the plate, and there's a ground ball through the middle, and Georgia College on the board within the first 3 batters of this game, and they have their first lead of the series. Jumping on top of the Spartans immediately. Base hits for Worth, Tutton, Bellflower, 1-0 Bobcats.
It actually took them 17 1/3 innings to get their first runs of the series, so we know they'll be excited to have 4 straight hits, or 3 of them, as Spivey, the 4 batter, is going to come up here. And they're off to an early lead and 2 runners in a dangerous spot.
Yeah. Ball high outside. Nothing hit sharply, but in the scorebook, it's a base hit and it's a run.
Small ball can work if you find the right spots, and it was perfectly behind the defense every single time.
Ball high. An early predicament for Alex Caney. We'll see how he handles it.
I'll say for both teams, the first time you're really seeing a pitcher maybe slow out of the gate. In the previous games, we saw pitchers being able to deal with problems early. Maybe in Game 1, we saw the Georgia College starter, after a tricky early start, he was able to recover, settle down, and record 9 strikeouts through 4 innings. Only the blemish being the double play, RBI, and home run that he had. And we'll see if Caney can do the same thing. A couple early hits as a blemish, see if he can work out of the jam.
2-1, fouled back. Umpires for today's game, Kelvin Bolton behind the plate. Boltron, I should say, behind the plate. Joshua Barnes in the field. 2-2, fouled off. Another nice day here in Tampa. Partly cloudy in the 70s.
Just a little cloudy, but definitely nice outside, and obviously it's good these games where it's not too hot and also not too cold. Just the perfect temperature.
Right. Yep. You should write a story about that.
Ooh, maybe.
Not too hot, not too cold. It's just right. 73 degrees at first pitch. Wind is out of the east at 7, so slight breeze compared to what we've had all weekend. 2-2 pitch. Runners at first and second. Up the middle, that's another one. That'll bring in a run. Cutting it off in the gap is Cumbo, but scoring is Tutton, and it's 2-0. Georgia College, no outs, 4 consecutive base hits off Alex Caney.
We mentioned a few bloop hits earlier. Well, that one wasn't a bloop. That was a hard line drive, and it got down. The good news is it didn't get down behind Cumbo. He was able to get in front of it, so he keeps the runner to a single, while the runner from first does get to third. And obviously in that position, if you're going from second, you're making it home.
Sapp now to the plate. Palmer Sapp, redshirt junior. Nice looking pitch, call strike. Runners again on the corners, first and third, nobody out.
Good idea, I think, from Caney to throw the opening breaking ball, because I think his fastball has been the pitch that he's got hit more often. I think just trying to get himself in a good spot to settle down. They nearly get the pick off, not in time.
Setting the Spartans defensively, Caney on the mound. Garavito is behind the plate. Jamarcus Lyons at first. Drew Earhart at second. Anthony Nunez at third. J.D. Urso at short. A little bit inside. Jordan Lala in left. Jose Cadenas in center. And E.J. Cumbo is in right.
As good as the Spartan side currently is defensively, they also have good bats, so we can expect that they'll try to get this deficit down back in the bottom or even later on.
This one blooped down the line and right, but it's going to go foul. One ball, two strikes. Caney on the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got the first out of the game at a big time.
I think that's an important strikeout for Caney because obviously in a first start like this, Urso, he's going to let Caney try to work through the issues. He's not going to pull him immediately at the first sign of trouble. Everyone has a bit of a slow warm-up, and even though that's normally what you want for spring training and exhibitions, sometimes in a real game you have to let a pitcher work his way through a bad inning to get some confidence going.
Baker to the plate. First pitch. Just missed.
Good framing attempt there by Garavito. Just missed it.
Bellflower on third. Spivey on first. One out. Here in the top of the first, already 2-0 Georgia College. Big swing and a miss. We both kind of agreed before the game that we might see the bats come alive a little bit more this game. 3 games into the season now.
I think certainly the odds were in the favor of the bats, and so far they have delivered.
See if the Spartans can add to what we're seeing. Strike call, ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
A little surprised it was called a strike, but I think just the umpire saw it well enough before Garavito had the pop to make sure Spivey wasn't moving.
1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Low and outside, 2-2. Keep an eye on Spivey at first, see if he thinks of going. No. Swing and a miss. And another out. 2 down now.
I think one thing that Coach Urso will be liking from this is that he hasn't been falling behind in counts. When he's been conceding hits, it's been an even count or maybe 1 or only 2 balls at most.
Yep.
He hasn't been falling behind and conceding walks. As a coach, you'd rather have a pitcher give up some unlucky hits or a couple hard hit balls than just walking the bases loaded or hitting the bases loaded like we saw in Game 1 for the Spartans.
Right.
Although it was the Spartans that benefited from the hitting it.
Besterman at the plate now. First pitch, strike call.
Really good slider. Locked him up that time.
You have to like the way Caney has fought back with a couple strikeouts to record the first 2 outs of the game. And he's ahead 0-2.
As good as it would be for just 3 quick in-play outs for Caney to get out of the inning, you get a lot more of a morale boost when you can set down the 3 batters, potentially even in a row here.
He did. Well, they pick up a couple runs on 4 straight base hits, but then Alex Caney comes back with 3 consecutive strikeouts, 2 runs, 4 hits. They left a couple. We played half an inning. Georgia College on top of Tampa, 2-0 on Tampa Spartans.tv. Bottom of the first we go. Spartan batting order. They'll have to battle back in this game. Leading off is number 8, Jordan Lala. He is a senior from Tampa, Florida. Batting second, number 2, Drew Earhart, a grad student from Tampa, Florida. Batting third is number 11, J.D. Urso, a sophomore from Tampa, Florida. Batting fourth is number 19, E.J. Cumbo. And Cumbo is a junior from East Meadow, New York. Changed it up there a little bit. Batting fifth is number 14, and that is Santiago Garavito. He is a sophomore from Plantation, Florida. Batting sixth is Jamarcus Lyons, number 0. He is a junior from Tampa. Batting seventh is number 9, Anthony Nunez, a sophomore from Hialeah, Florida. Batting eighth is McAllister Jorgensen. He is the DH in this game, and McAllister is a sophomore from Brandon, Florida, a Tampa suburb. And batting ninth is number 40, Jose Cadenas, and Jose is a senior from Tampa, Florida. Notice a trend there?
Yep, quite a few Tampa players, not a huge surprise.
Yeah. I think that tells you that it's a pretty big hotbed of baseball.
It certainly is.
And first pitch hitting, Jordan Lala sends it out to Baker in center, drifts back, and makes the catch. One thing Jordan Lala will do is make contact with the ball. That one just stayed up and stayed straight.
Yeah, just a little too much air and not enough distance, sadly.
Pitching for Georgia College is Luke Scudolari. He is a senior from Roswell, Georgia. And as we mentioned, his battery mate is Trevor Knowles. Drew Earhart to the plate. Ball high outside.
Last season, Scudolari had a solid year, 3.72 ERA with 36 strikeouts to 14 walks. He's been in and out of the bullpen and rotation, so wonder whether Georgia College had plans for a bullpen game or if Scudolari will be a long-term member.
Drew, that's a good bunt. They got him, though. Good play, good fielding play by Scudolari, fielding his position. Got Drew by a couple steps.
Yeah, it was a great bunt by Earhart. Scudolari was, I think, perfect fielding that time. If it was any delay, any other issue, Earhart's, I think, easily safe, but beats him by a step because Scudolari reacts and was right there.
If you're joining us for the first time this year, but you've seen games in the past, you'll notice it's a turf field now. No more dirt infield and grass on the outfield. It's all turf all the time.
I'll say so far it's led to less weird ground balls.
True. J.D. Urso at the plate. J.D. at 286 right now after 2 games. 2 hits, 7 at-bats. Ground ball to third. Tutton fields it on a couple hots. Throws low. Got him, though. Quick inning for Scudolari. No runs, no hits, no errors. We'll go to the second inning. Georgia College 2, Tampa nothing on TampaSpartans.tv. Top of the second inning, and Georgia College holds on to a 2-0 lead over the Tampa Spartans. They will send up 8, 9, and 1 as 7 batters came to the plate. 4 consecutive base hits to start the game, and then Alex Caney with 3 consecutive strikeouts to end the inning. And that's where we sit.
It's a tough start when you concede 4 straight base hits, but Caney settled down and recorded 3 strikeouts, and I think that's what's important. As I mentioned previously, that's where you can regain the momentum, regain a little bit of mojo to getting those strikeouts, because otherwise the mental state, it is hurt when you concede a couple early runs like that.
First pitch, swing and a miss. A little late swinging at that one was Knowles. Early in the season, he's played 3 games, has a 143 batting average at this point, so don't worry too much about batting averages right now. There's a fly ball. Popped up. Earhart backing up at second. E.J. Cumbo calls him off, makes the catch.
I think especially at this stage of the season, it takes really 5 to 10 games to really see what a batter's average is going to even be. And for a pitcher, even longer. They have to have 3 to 4 starts before it really starts to normalize. And relievers especially, too.
Cohen, ground ball. Urso can't make it. He tried desperately to get down on that one, but it slid past him. Base hit.
It's always hard hit when something comes off a bounce like that. You don't have a lot of time to react, and I don't think Urso was able to make the reaction in that position in time. So just a good placed ball to get into the outfield.
We are back to the top of the order. And Worth coming to the plate. As you were mentioning, it's a little early to tell averages. That was Worth's second at bat of the season, and he's now 1 for 2.
Yeah, Worth has come in, and I think he's done a good job sort of as a replacement in defense and pinch hitting so far for Georgia College. He's done enough to garner a start today here against the Spartans, as both teams are rotating a bit.
Well, he's already got the 2 stolen bases, we've noticed.
See, one thing I'm interested to see is how the Spartans will be able to deal with Scudellari pickoff attempts. Because he's a left-handed pitcher, you have the very quick turn to first. Tampa might have to be more careful in the base paths.
Tip foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Caney on the rubber, takes a glance over, quick throw. And the 1-2, again another throw. Don't know if they have a book on Cohen or not. He's not stolen any bases this year. Not attempted any this year. That one's tapped foul down third base.
Notice Cohen has had some slightly large leads, but yeah, he hasn't gone off to the races yet.
He does take a good hefty lead, though. Taps that one out to Urso. He gets it. Steps, throws. Double play. Nice job by J.D. Urso. And that will end the inning quickly. So Alex Caney gets out of the second unscathed. We head to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Georgia College on top of Tampa.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. on the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Tampa down 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. Spartans will send up the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Cumbo, Garavito, and Lyons against the lefty, Scudolari, who had a quick 1-2-3 inning.
And quick is a good word for it. Only had 6 pitches, forcing 3 quick outs.
Lefty. Strike call.
I believe throughout the entire weekend, it's the first time Spartans have seen a left-handed pitcher.
I think you're right. Cumbo looked at it, but let it go. Bounces in the dirt, 1-1. Watches that one outside, 2-1. Another pretty good crowd here on a sunsplash day in Tampa. And there's a base hit. Cumbo with the base hit. First hit of the game for Tampa. First base runner. And Garavito will come to the plate. Garavito, 2 hits, 8 at-bats. That's a .250 average early in the year.
Garavito also has the opening home run for the Spartans. Hit it during the night game on Friday and was able to give the fans a light show.
Ball high. These two teams opened the season last year up in Georgia, and Tampa took 2 of 3. Throw over.
2 of 3 could be continuing that trend if Georgia College can hold on to this lead, but the Spartans have an average of about 3.75 runs per game or so.
That one is hit out into left field, going back near the wall, making the catch on the track was Cohen, and he throws it back. A long out.
A little bit of nervous excitement with the exit velocity on that one, but just not enough air, and it lands perfectly in Cohen's glove. Gumbo all the way back to first safely.
The hero of yesterday's game, Jamarcus Lyons, coming to the plate. A single through the middle with the bases loaded. Throw over, and they've got him in the caught and run down, and nope, they just get him at second base. Got Cumbo leaning or ready to go, and he's wiped off the base paths for the second out of the inning.
They guessed right, and Cumbo went, and they had plenty of time to get to throw to second.
That's one of those helpless feelings when you know.
Yep.
All you got to do is run to second and hope. So Jamarcus Lyons now with nobody on base. Strike call, 1-2.
0-2 actually here.
0-2.
The first pitch was a ghost pitch because it was just a throw to first.
I believe the scoreboard. They retracted it. Now the pitch, 0-2, in the dirt. The pitch. Ground ball heading out towards short. Sapp throws high. And they call him out. Nice job by Spivey. Went up high to catch the ball. Came down on the base just before Jamarcus Lyons got there. So the Spartans did get a hit. Got wiped out on a caught stealing. And we played 2. Georgia College 2, Tampa nothing. We are in the top of the third already. Georgia College leading Tampa 2-0. This is the final game of a 3-game season opening series with Georgia College. Spartans next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, will host Quincy College. I think it's Quincy University now of Illinois. And then the weekend after that, they will host Maryville, Missouri in a Friday, Saturday, Sunday 3-game series.
Maryville, Missouri. Now that is an odd name for a Missouri team.
I don't recall them. Spartans have probably played them, but I don't recall them on the schedule.
Get up to the weekend, I'll be sure to look at the series history for those teams. But easy to recall these series history for Georgia College here, since they were opening day for the Spartans last year.
Ball high. This is Tutton at the plate, who scored in the first inning. Hits one out to center field. Cadena's tracking back, now waits, and makes the catch. Quick one up, one down. Spartans do not hit the road until Friday, February 24th, and it will be at Palm Beach Atlantic. So their first road trip of the year will be Sunshine State Conference play. Not until the 10th of March do they have a home game against a conference team. March 10th, Embry-Riddle comes to town for a weekend series. Though they do play a couple more non-conference games after Palm Beach Atlantic.
Close one there, just 1-1. A little disappointing because Garavito tried to frame it well, but just not well enough.
Ground ball. Does it get through? Earhart dives, gets under his mitt, base hit. Cumbo will throw it in. 6 hits for the Bobcats.
Another well-placed grounder. Great effort by Earhart, but just a few inches away from his glove that time. Last time Caney had a runner on with one away, he was able to retire the side quickly. Finding a great play by J.D. Urso, the 6-3 double play. Not always something you see.
Spivey. Fly ball. Cadenas backtracks a couple steps. We've seen this before, and he makes another catch in center. Tell you what, both pitchers are just letting the batters swing away, and they're either hitting them at people or, in the case of Georgia College, now for 6 times, getting it just out away from the mitt. Like there.
Make it 7.
They're going to hold the runner up as Cumbo. Look at that. He threw that one on a beeline.
I'll say if Bellflower tried to go 3, he would have been out by a few steps that time. Great throw from right. And as you were mentioning earlier, just excellent BABIP luck for Georgia College, finding the well-hit balls square in between the infielders. And Tampa hitting it right at them.
So now 2 outs, 2 on, runners at first and second with Baker coming to the plate. Baker, a strikeout victim. He won't be this time. Fly ball. Cadenas will record all 3 outs for the inning. So they get a couple on. They've got 7 hits for the game already. Spartans, I think, are lucky right now to be only down 2-0 with 7 hits in 3 innings. That's the way it stands, 2-0. Georgia College on top of Tampa as we head to the bottom of the third.
I
am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Bottom of the third we go. Spartans will send up the 7, 8, 9 hitters. That's Nunez, Jorgensen, Cadenas against Scudolari. Scudolari's been very efficient, just 16 pitches in 2 innings of work.
It's always good to be under 20 pitches entering the third inning. Allows you to go long into the game, and I know the Spartans may not want to face Scudolari a long time if they continue to struggle, but if they continue to struggle, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. Anthony Nunez coming to the plate. Early numbers are he's a .286 hitter with 2 hits in 7 at-bats. And that's popped up, playable, drifting into foul territory. Spivey moving, makes the catch in the Bobcats bullpen, running away from the infield. 1 down.
Great athleticism from Spivey. Normally you don't always expect a first baseman to make those crazy runs or crazy leaps, but we've seen that a few times from Spivey, going out deep into foul territory or making incredible grabs on slightly errant throws. So a very agile first baseman. It's not always a position you think of as defense first, but Spivey gets it done.
Jorgensen to the plate. This will be his first at-bat of the season.
Last season, Jorgensen had a .237 average with 11 RBIs. Also a .603 on base and slugging percentage.
A promising sophomore from Brandon, Riverview High School. Outside. Watland out into center field. Does it get down? No. Backing up for it was Worth, and he makes the catch. 2 outs.
Had the distance of a bloop single, but the airtime of a flyout, sadly.
Wrong combo.
At least Jorgensen's able to get contact on it, and that's a good thing. The Spartans haven't struck out yet today. And while that plays into Scudolari's hands, he's able to get through quick innings, the Spartans aren't necessarily whiffing on a lot of pitches. They're finding contact sooner rather than later. That should turn out lucky for the Spartans.
Cadenas shows bunt. Called the ball, though. Tip foul. Yeah, the good point that you made is they're hitting the ball. Just they're hitting it at people right now.
Just unlucky spots for the ball, and that should come with time. I mean, obviously it's not a guarantee for a certain game, but if they're continuing to do that over the course of the year, sooner rather than later, they will find those well-placed balls, just like Georgia College have.
They're doing it, but they're hitting it where they ain't, as they say. Two-one pitch. Just missing the corner, 3-1.
Be interesting to see if Cadenas can get on base. Remember in game one, he stole second, then has to throw in a little errant. He went to third and made it home after another errant throw.
Okay, he gets the free pass, so on his way to first base, Jose Cadenas, and Jordan Lala strides to the plate. Spartans' leadoff hitter. Saw one pitch his first at-bat, flew out to center.
Lala's 4 for 9 on the season. He's had a great start.
Yeah. Ball high.
Lala gave us one of the first true hits into a gap when he hit down the right field line to give Tampa a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th yesterday.
Outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Outside, 3-0.
Trying to hit that top corner, but just missed those last few times.
So a walk to Cadenas, and now 3-0 on Lala. And a 4-pitch walked him. So back-to-back walks bring Drew Earhart to the plate.
I mentioned this yesterday, but Carso said that Earhart was one of the better hitters on the team. He's not someone he'd like to face in a high-leverage spot. But I asked him the question. So definitely someone you like to have in a spot like this. Potential run at first, tying run at first. Potential run just to get on the board at second. And with 2 out, the runners will be moving. And Lala and Cadenas both have some speed to them. An outfield ball could theoretically get Lala all the way around the bases.
Quick mound visit. I was just looking at Spartan stats from last year. 306 batting average as a team. Scored 437 runs in 57 games. So Spartans average about 8 runs a game last year, which is a tremendous amount.
And they've only had 7 runs in this weekend series, so that's a testament for Georgia College's really good pitching.
Earhart inside. I'll tell you, though, 8 runs a game is not surprising. It was not an unusual season last year in that regard. There's a strike.
Avoids 6 consecutive balls, or maybe even 7 at that stage. Is able to get the count to 1-1.
Earhart levels the bat. 1-1 pitch coming up from Scudellari. Fouled off. Down the first base line. Out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 out. Fly ball, giving chase, and off the screen, foul. Bellflower giving chase in right field. Got down into the bullpen, but it hit up on the screen. stays 1-2. Runners go. Ground ball. Base hit. That'll bring a run in. It's down to a 2-1 game and heading to third. Sliding in safely is Jordan Lala, and the Spartans have the tying run 90 feet away.
And that is the luck I was mentioning earlier. Earhart hits it hard past Tutton into the outfield. Runners moving. Lala can't make it on. It's too shallow, but Cadenas certainly can.
Cadenas had to do a little hurdler jump there to avoid getting hit by the baseball, too. Now J.D. Urso coming up with a chance to tie the game.
I have a feeling they're going to be pitching cautiously around Urso. They know they've got a favorable lefty matchup. Even though Cumbo did get a hit last time, you might want to face Cumbo a little bit more than Lala here. Or not Lala, Urso. Wow.
So back-to-back walks by Scudolari cost him here. Back-to-back walks after 2 were out cost him here. Ball inside, gobbled up by Knowles.
That's an important time to get in front of the ball. Knowles has been great at that all series, but with a runner on third, and especially with the speed of Jordan Lala, he's going to make it home if it gets behind.
Yeah. Earhart on first, Lala third. Urso waits, fouls it back toward us. You flinched, I didn't.
I got to get used to having the net in front of me again.
You're double protected.
Yeah, well, triple with the glass.
Taylor mentioning in the first game of the year when he was doing a league up in Elmira, New York, that a ball actually came into the booth and he dodged it. So he's a little gun shy when it happens.
It's also the reason I didn't go pro in baseball. Kind of scared of the ball.
That was a problem, huh?
Yep, just a little.
3-1. They go to first.
Now, would not be surprised if they try to get Earhart in motion.
That's what I wondered, if he might move here.
Because if Knowles can't get a good throw to second, or does make a throw to second, could see Lala try to sneak home.
Foul back, as well as his bat. Ball to the screen, bat to the screen, and J.D. will walk back to the backstop, pick it up, gets the ball as well. It'll be full count now, so Drew Earhart will be in motion.
By the way, a little action in the bullpen for Georgia College, so Scudolari probably on a maybe 60-70 pitch count limit. Don't imagine he'll go too much farther.
And, he had 16 pitches coming into this inning. Pitch to Urso. Swing and a miss, though, to end the inning. Spartans do get one. Left a couple. We've played 3 full, and it is 2-1. Georgia College on top of Tampa. We head to the top of the 4th inning, so Taylor take over for a few innings and get the Spartans the lead.
Thank you, Jack, and that's going to be the goal. Spartans were able to score 1 in the previous inning, but left a runner on third and first after a strikeout to J.D. Urso. However, Scudolari's pitch count skyrocketed. He exits the inning with about 41 or 42 on the mound, and we already had someone stretching in the bullpen, so Tampa didn't want to face him the entire game, but did a good job of getting the pitch count up. Meanwhile, Alex Caney, he probably won't be going the full game. You have someone getting ready to stretch and warm up in the bullpen now, but after a pretty tumultuous first inning with 4 consecutive hits, he settled down and kept Georgia College quiet. He's going to deal with the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Besterman leads off, struck out back in the first inning. Gets that one, strike 1. High slider just on the corner. That one low, ball 1. Back in the postseason in the game against Spring Hill, my first time doing Spartans baseball on the mic, Caney was on the mound as part of a bullpen game. And all he needed to do was pitch 2 innings as the Spartans jumped off to a football score lead, where he was able to take a rest and let the bullpen do the work from there.
What was it, like 30-3?
It was 22-0 at the end of the second.
Right. A friend of mine came to watch the game, first Spartans game, and I said, oh, it's a good game. It should be good. It's tournaments. And walked down to him after the 3rd inning, and he goes, is this normal? He's not a big baseball knowledgeable guy in the first place.
Wow, 22 runs. I wonder if the other team can come back. This one fouled away. It's 2-2. Of course, speaking of a 22 scoreline, 2-2 count. Georgia College making this series a lot more competitive. Would have been fun to see these two teams at it in the South region last year.
Yeah. Nice pitch.
A great pitch there. The slider getting strike 3 on the swing and miss. It's Caney's 4th of the game, and that's going to bring up Knowles. Strong defensive catcher is 0 for 1 today after flying out to right field.
You know, this has been a very competitive series. The 5-0 game on Friday night, it was, 2-0 going into about the 7th inning. It was a good pitcher's duel.
And I think you'd also credit it to Paul being just dominant on the mound, and then from the bullpen, Spartans having some reliable arms.
And then yesterday, 1-0. No score going into the 8th.
Yeah, no score in the 8th. 1-0 after the 8th, and 1-1 after the 9th. So and then the 11th, it was Lions getting the winner. This one fouled away. The count will go to 1-1 now. Caney, long-term, a member of potentially for the rotation. Urso's going to like the fact that he bounced back after the shaky opening inning. Especially as he's going to try to determine what 4 or 5 he wants to headline the rotation. That throw gets over Lyons' glove, but good job there by Garavito to back him up and prevent the runner from getting to second.
That'll be a throwing error. Drew Earhart fielded it cleanly, but just threw it high, and Jamarcus Lyons leaping, couldn't get it. Uncharacteristically, a throwing error.
Very, very rare error for Earhart. He's such a defensive anchor for the Spartans. And also that maybe will be Lyons' height just not helping him out there, because a player that's maybe taller, 6'3", 6'4", could theoretically maybe just have a tiny hop to make that grab. Mm-hmm. But even though it was a good jump, just sadly a little bit too high. So 1 away and 1 on after that foul ball leads to a 1 count.
Jamarcus is listed at 5'8".
Yeah.
Some of the other first basemen
definitely see first
6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, so a few inches shorter, but Lyons is definitely able to play the position. He's got the trust for the coach, and we've already seen him make some good grabs and attempts at plays.
Started the series as the left fielder.
If they do some pinch hitting later on, he might shift back there. He's also very versatile. You love that in a player who can play across the field. 1-2 didn't bite at the outside pitch there. This one's going to be hit directly to Cadenas. Just going to drop in front and, takes a rough hop. Cadenas finally finds it. But they will get the runner at second. But in bad news, Lyons is down.
Oh, what happened?
I think he
base
either
runner hit him.
Had a collision, I believe.
Yeah. More than likely, the base runner hit him going around.
Yeah, more than likely would have been a collision between him and Cohen. We'll step back for a second.
Holding his head
as they check on him.
So more than likely it was just a positioning.
So we're back as Lala still getting checked up. The good news is he's standing.
Lions.
Lions.
You were close. Don't worry about it.
Keep getting them wrong when they're switching in left field and center field. The problem is, Lions is at first base today. I shouldn't be getting that wrong.
Don't worry about it.
But unlucky hit there on the run. And the question will be what to do with the base runner after that play.
Yeah, it looks like Lions is staying in, though he went down hard. I mean, he was holding his head.
Yeah.
Looks like the runner's going to get to stay. We didn't see it because we were watching Cadenas field the ball. But more than likely, Cohen, once he saw the ball drop and get away from Cadenas, put on the speed, and they just collided.
Exactly. Just turned to second, and all of a sudden, because he's looking at second trying to think, okay, I'm going to get there. Lions probably waiting, okay, hey, like, where can I get set up for the next thing? They don't see each other. Boom, they hit. Yep. And fortunately for the Spartans, I believe they're going to say that's Lions' fault interfering with the runner. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we'll disagree with that call from the booth.
Joe Urso coming out. They did have a pitcher go down to the bullpen a little while ago. Joe Norm. Going to do here with runners on second and third and one out.
I especially think that Urso, because he was a little upset earlier at the call, because that's the reason runner is still at second, that the umpire ruled that if he didn't have that collision with Lions, he would have been safe. And looks like they are going to make the call to the bullpen here. And that'll end the day for Caney. 3 1/3. 2 earned, 4 strikeouts.
And he'll be responsible for the 2 base runners. Let's see who's making the trip.
And I have a feeling that this will be a longer relief stint, not just a fireman type of job to come in and try to put the fire out with 2 runners on. They'll be entrusted to go a longer distance. Well, say the most important outcome from the previous play, Lions is okay and back in the game.
And stayed in.
Job for Sullivan. Although none of the runs would be his if they come home, they're still tied with Caney, who did just get pulled. Strike one taken. Strike two, swings and misses that time. I think he was reaching a little bit low there. It's Worth back at the plate, top of the order. He grounded into a double play last time. And Spartan infield pretty shallow here.
Wow.
Swing and a miss, and they're going to get the runner. What a pickoff throw by Garavito, and Sullivan immediately out of the jam.
Nice play by Tampa. Great job by Garavito to see that.
1-2-5 retires the side. So we were feeling a little bit anxious. A rough collision led to a tough spot. Sullivan, a clutch strikeout. Garavito, a quick throw. And it's 2 quick outs to retire the Bobcats. They still lead 2-1 as we enter the bottom of the 4th.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
A 2-1 lead for the Bobcats. Scudolari is going to hope to keep it. Spartans hoping to try to complete the sweep. Due up is Cumbo, Garavito, and Lyons.
Well, an unusual play gave Georgia College runners at second and third, and then an unusual play gets the Spartans out of the inning.
Indeed, 2 unusual plays in a row. Base running collision where the good news is Lyons is okay and will actually get a chance to make up for it at the plate. I know he might want a little more revenge after the contact and not getting the call I think the Spartans would have wanted. Coach Urso, I think, was a little disappointed at the call too. We saw him out on the field as Lyons was just getting checked out. First pitch taken, just high, ball 1.
Whoa.
And ooh, that one a little inside.
Just a bit inside.
The great Major League quote in there.
From the legendary Bob Uecker, who I believe turned at 90 and still doing Milwaukee Brewer games.
And that one gets over to short. Out at first, 1 away.
You know, I noticed Sapp that time making the play at shortstop. Looked like a routine grounder, fielded it. He knew, he looked over and saw that Cumbo was not dilly-dallying his way down the baseline, and he put a little juice on that throw over.
And it was a slower ground ball. That's where the runner has more time to pick up speed and get to first. And Cumbo kind of deceptively fast because he's a taller player for the Spartans, but he can move it on the base paths and in the field. First pitch just outside for Garavito. He had a quick read and a great pop to get the runner who was straying very far from third for the final out of the inning last time. He's also had some good at-bats this year on offense. He did fly out previously. Garavito ahead 3-0 now. On deck, Jamarcus Lyons. See if Lyons can get the base runner with 1 away. And that one just in the low corner, strike one. This one, foul. Hard hit down the line. Just veered a little too far to the left. Full count now for Garavito. The payoff pitch is high, and Garavito works a walk. Runner on first for Lions. The walk-off hero last time. Wouldn't be a walk-off spot, but he could help try to tie it and put the Spartans in a better situation to do so. But now the question is that going to be all for Scudolari? Hasn't struck out this season. He's kept the balls in play and finally got his hit to get the win last night. At that point, it was pretty much night. It was late afternoon, sunset. And here's the first pitch from Goodwin. This one popped up. Tracking back is Spivey, and it's going to fall foul. Goodwin, 6'6", 240 pounds, one of the tallest players with Georgia College. That extra height can give you a little extra reach and momentum for speed. Looking up and down the list, he is the tallest player at Georgia College. That one low, it's 1-1. Spartans 1 for 3 with runners on today. That was a good framing attempt by Knowles. Just misses though. 2-1 now. hovering around 70 degrees, might get a little warmer as we get later into the day, 1:08 p.m. here at the University of Tampa's baseball field. Now the 2-1. This one's going to be hit to third. They get one. The throw just in time. A good reach there by Spivey, nearly going into a half split to get the double play and out of the inning. We've played 4. Georgia College scored 2. Tampa has 1. And Tampa needs just a little more to get back into the lead. We'll be back right after this for the top of the 5th. Due up is Tutton, Bellflower, and Spivey.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can. And then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
And we are back to the University of Tampa. I'm Taylor Storley alongside Jack Ike as we get ready for the 5th inning. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. A good crowd has showed up. I think a little less than the Saturday and Friday games, but that's also understandable. It's Sunday. Students finishing up maybe some homework for some of their classes. Parents for both teams will definitely be in town, excited to see how they play. Tutton leads off. He had a single and scored a run back in the first inning. Also leads Georgia College with 2 home runs. Those are the only 2 home runs the Bobcats have had all season. So there's a little bit of power in the bat. Also knows how to get on base. Ball 1, a bit high. Sullivan got the strikeout, and Garavito a quick throw to third to get out of a jam in the top of the 4th. And I imagine Sullivan will have an extended relief stint. It's 1-1 now as this one's taken for strike 1, low and in the zone. This one's going to be hit, and it's a base hit to lead off the inning. A well-hit ball getting over Urso, right in front of Lala. Bellflower will now step up to the plate. He's 2 for 2 today. It's also the 9th hit of the game, I believe, for Georgia College. Strike 1. Had an RBI and another single in the 3rd. This one's going to be grounded to Urso at short. Flips it to Earhard. And a good grab by Lions. They make it 2. That's another double play the Spartans have converted. Saw a weird double play in the 4th. A more conventional 6-3. And this time, that'll be scored 6-4-3. 2 away, base is empty. Here comes Spivey to the plate. He also had an RBI single back in the first inning. He's 1 for 2. Strike 1 taken. Sullivan doing a good job of getting runners out quickly. Already forced 2 double plays. Good break on that pitch. Goes inside. 1-1. This one's going to be grounded. And Sullivan, the toss to Lyons to get out of the inning. 1, 2, 3 with a double play in between. The Spartans trail by 1, 7-8-9, going to be due up in the bottom of the 5th. Goodwin back on the mound. Faced one batter and got out of a jam. And now he's going to be tasked with going a bit of a distance here. So we do see some activity over in Georgia College's bullpen. It's actually a visible bullpen, unlike the Spartans, which is now shielded in the left corner. Georgia College still has their bullpen on the field. So I wonder how long Goodwin will go here. And it's going to be Nunez leading off for the Spartans. He's 0 for 1 today with a pop fly in foul territory. And let's see if he can get some offense going. The Spartans will be looking to find that one run to equalize. This one's going to be grounded. Gets to second and the throw in time. 1 away. Only 1 strikeout all day for the Spartans. They've been putting balls in play, just not good enough, unfortunately. One out of every 6 balls they hit is able to get a runner on. But apart from that, they've struggled a few times. Jorgensen, another hit here. He's going to send this one center field, but it's going to be caught out number 2. That's going to bring up Jose Cadenas with 2 away. Drew a walk last time. He would also score the only run the Spartans have had so far. With a righty on the mound, Cadenas can also deal some more damage on the base paths now. So if he gets on base, that'll be something Goodwin has to manage. Strike 1 taken. Just some stretching and tossing over in Georgia College's bullpen. But Goodwin, a low pitch count, will probably be able to go another inning after this one. Cadenas drops the bunt down. It's picked up at third by Tutton, and a good grab by Spivey to make sure the ball didn't get into the outfield. It's a bunt single for Cadenas, and now it's going to bring up the top of the order. Jordan Lala with 2 away. Off the mound, Goodwin just a little slip there as he was trying to get to the ball, and even though Tutton was there, didn't have enough time to get Cadenas out. There, a pitch out. They obviously know what happened with Cadenas back in the first game. He stole second, an errant throw. Cadenas went to third in what was a very risky move, was likely going to get thrown out, but the errant throw into the dugout that followed allowed Cadenas to go from first to home in just one pitch. This one inside, but lands in the zone, strike one. Lala drew a walk last time and would get to third but was stranded. Runner goes. And ball two won't be a throw to second. Cadenas slides in safely. The tying run is now in scoring position. And with two outs, Cadenas will be running. Any hit will most likely bring him home. Cadenas has the speed to make it. Let's see if Jordan Lala can do it. 2-1 now. That one outside, 3-1. On deck for the Spartans, it's Drew Earhart. He drove in the RBI to bring the deficit from 2-1. Very manageable deficit, too, for the Spartans. Earhart made it even nicer, and let's see if Lala can erase it. Pickoff attempt, Cadenas is safe. Earlier in the game, they got Cumbo on a pickoff attempt. Cumbo jumped and ran to second, and that's when he was all alone out there. Spivey was able to make the throw to Sapp. 3-1 here. Will Cadenas go? This one sent to left. It should end the inning. It will. Spartans get a runner on, but unfortunately, they can't do much with it. That'll end the fifth inning. Georgia College still lead by one. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Bobcats as we enter the top of the sixth.
I pledged.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Welcome back. I'm Taylor Storthy. I'll be rejoined by Jack Ike shortly. We're entering the top of the sixth here at the University of Tampa. As the Georgia College series winds down with the conclusion of this game in a few innings' time, be sure to join us next weekend, Friday the 10th at 6 p.m. University of Tampa Spartans take on Quincy, a team coming from Illinois. Fun to see what that series will have in store. So join us again Friday night under the lights. Might see another light show like Garavito gave us last time. Sapp leads off for Georgia College. Sullivan staying on the mound. And I wonder if there is going to be a change or two on the field. Because we saw Urso mentioning something. In fact, they will. Lions will be pulled from first, as they are going to bring in a new player. It looks like E.J. Doskow, but do not quote me on that. I'm going to need a second check. That one. I was actually right. It is E.J. Doskow entering the game at first base. Lions, of course, had a collision earlier on the base paths. He was up and able to continue, but maybe just a precaution to make sure Lions is all good out there. Strike one here for Sullivan. His first appearance as a Spartan. Off to a strong start. That one's going to be sent down the left field line, but foul. Had some distance and likely would have been extra bases, even with Lala closing down. Sapp is 1 for 2 today. Had a hit back in the third inning. 9 hits in total for Georgia College. That one likely a sinker, just dropping a bit low. Count will jump to 1-1 or 2-1 here. This one's going to be grounded to Nunez at third. That is a tough throw, but Doskow picks it up. 1 away. Slower grounder. Nunez gets it. It's hard to transition from the backhand like that. He fired it to first, and Doskow able just to get on top of it.
The center fielder, Hunter Baker.
Make the out. Hunter Baker enters the game. He's 0 for 2 today and fouls the first pitch off. We see Dalton Ross running out and getting the foul ball again. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Sullivan, 1 strikeout already. Looking to complete 2 1/3 and potentially 2 2/3 at the end of the inning. That one's fouled away. Georgia College hitting just shy of 400 today with a .391 batting average. Haven't drawn any walks and haven't got a single extra base hit, but they've known how to put the ball in play in spots where the Spartans can't get to it. Still 0-2 after the foul ball. Mixed results for the latter half of the order for Georgia College. Baker, Besterman, and Knowles all 0 for 2, but Cohen 2 for 2. This one sent into the gap and right. I think it'll get down. Yes, it will. It's going to be extra bases. Call out the commentator's curse. First extra base hit of the day for either team, and Baker now on second with 1 away. Besterman at the plate now. I'll say in right field, good play by Cumbo to get to it. The throw wasn't too far off, but was likely not going to get the runner no matter what. 2 strikeouts today for Besterman. Want to do better with a runner in scoring position. And I actually believe... Are they making a pinch runner? No, never mind. They were just clearing up the batting pads. This one popped up. Garavito tracking it. But so is Doskow. It's a lot closer to Doskow. 2 away. Ten hits for Georgia College, but they've actually stranded 5 runners. They will not want to strand 6 here. Trevor Knowles up 0 for 2 today. Last time he got on board with an error. Strike 1 taken. A good slider right down the middle. This one hit, and that will definitely score the run. Lala picks it up in left to keep the runner at first, but it's an RBI single for Knowles. It's a 3-1 ball game. Georgia College extend the lead.
The left fielder, Evan Cohen.
Good job by Lala just to get in front of it and make sure Knowles couldn't turn 2 that time. Cohen at the plate. And obviously the Spartans do not want to see run number 4 come home. It'll be a little harder for Knowles to do so, but he will be running with 2 away on any contact. Inside, slider taken for ball 1. This one grounded, and Doskow will end the inning. 2 hits, 1 run, and it's a 3-1 lead for Georgia College. The 2-3-4 hitters for the Spartans coming up, looking to get this game close once again, or even try to get the Spartans back in the lead. We'll be back with more Tampa Spartans baseball live on Tampa Spartans TV.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
And we are back at the University of Tampa. I'm Taylor Sorley, soon to be rejoined by Jack Ike. Goodwin still on the mound. He's gone through 1 2/3 with only 13 pitches. A good job of getting quick outs. They've been pitching to contact, and it's been working out. Drew Earhart, 1 for 2 today with an RBI. He'll be leading off for the Spartans.
Leading off the 6th for Tampa is the second baseman, Drew Earhart.
Here's the first pitch coming soon from Goodwin. Well, it looks like they're going to need another earpiece change here for Knowles back behind home plate. We saw them make a swap before. Of course, MLB teams don't need to use signs today to communicate with their pitchers and catchers. Earpieces have become more popular. Here's the first pitch now from Goodwin. Checked up. Didn't go around. Ball 1. The 1-0 here to Earhart. In the dirt. Ball 2 now. Fouled away. And a few Spartans just having to jump out of the way. I believe the two was Cameron Serrata and Beckett White. (2-1) to Earhart. That one bounces away. 3-1 count. Spartans have drawn 3 walks so far, showcasing some good discipline. They're 1 ball away from walk number 4. And they'll get it. Earhart opens the inning with a walk. That's going to bring up J.D. Urso. Urso, of course, a very promising player. A very good shortstop. We already saw him make a solo double play. Well, of course, combined with lines over at first. Today he's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. But overall hitting about 200 on the year, 2 for 10, or 2 for 9. Hopefully he can find hit number 3 here. He would not like that hit to come off a hit by pitch. That one goes a bit inside. 1-0. Earhart could be a threat on the base paths too, so I know Goodwin will have to be careful about that. And there's the pickoff attempt. Earhart is safe. Earhart not taking a big lead, though. And Tampa going to be a little more cautious with their base runners for now until they have speedsters like Lala and Cadenas in position. (2-0). A bit high that time. Two pitchers warming up actively in the Georgia College bullpen. Framing attempt didn't work. It's a 3-0 count now for Urso. Getting on base would allow Cumbo to step up to the plate. Now I'll mention there's no lefties warming up in the bullpen for Georgia College either. So it would be Cumbo against a righty if they made the change. Strike one in that low corner. The obvious 3-0 take. And now we'll get a 3-1 coming up from Goodwin, trying to avoid 2 walks in a row. This one's going to be grounded over to short. They get one. The throw to first in time, a double play. Sapp to Worth to Spivey, 6-4-3. Singling together. Could be Goodwin's final hitter of the game. This looks complete 2 2/3. Strike one taken on the low corner. Cumbo had a single earlier, grounded out in the 4th inning. Fouled away, 0-2 now. Just outside. Ball 1. Still a good pitcher's count here for Goodwin. Gumbo gets under that one, but it's going to be caught in left field to end the inning. Cohen making the easy catch. Spartans down in order after a double play. And still looking to get back from this deficit. It's now 3-1 as we enter the 7th inning. We'll be back with more Tampa baseball on Tampa Spartans TV. (3-1) lead for Georgia College. Taylor Storley, Jack Ike back here with more Tampa Spartans baseball as we start the 7th inning. And I'll hand it back to Jack. So Spartans still struggling here to get the offense going. They had runners, but they've squandered them.
Yeah, they have been held to 3 hits, though, so they haven't had anything really timely. You look at Georgia College, 4 4 hits to open the game, gave them 2 runs. Since that time, they've had 7 hits, but only 1 run is scored. So the Spartans have been lucky that it's still a close ball game.
It's also not about how many hits you get. It's about when you get them.
Yep.
All you need is 2 hits. Guy to get on and a guy to bring him home. Or even more, you can concede 13 hits with and concede no runs and win with 1 hit.
Yeah. Paul Sullivan on the mound for the Spartans. Ground ball by Worth, fielded by Nunez. Easy toss to Dosco. Notice they made the move to Dosco. Lyons was already warming up for the inning, and then they made the move before the first batter came up.
Could just be as well a health precaution, just to make sure Lyons was all good after the collision.
Third baseman, Ben Tutton.
But also maybe they wanted someone with a little more consistent power behind the bat. In a spot like this, or maybe without a lefty pitcher on the mound, Tampa didn't feel the need to bench Dosco in terms of platooning.
True. Ben Tutton at the plate. 2 for 3 day. Hit the ball every time. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss as well, and that will be a strikeout. Bellflower coming up now. Spartans will have 3 more at-bats. Next inning, they'll have Garavito, Dosco, and Nunez coming up. But right now, it's Bellflower, who has also 2 hits. And make it 3 hits. Solid single. And we move our way down to Spivey in the order, the cleanup hitter.
Big day for the front 3 hitters at Georgia College. 6 for 12 in total, hitting .500.
Wow.
So they've done some damage to the Spartans' rotation and staff as a whole.
Runner goes, but at fly ball heading out towards center. Cadena's coming in. Pretty shallow, makes the catch. Inning is over. Quick one for Sullivan. The Spartans will come to bat in the bottom of the 7th with the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up right here on TampaSpartans.tv. Bottom of the 7th we go. Hunter Goodwin still on the mound for the Bobcats. Spartans will send up 5, 6, 7 hitters. Garavito, Dosco, Nunez. See if they can chip away at this 3-1 Bobcat lead. I tell you, this will be a big win for the Bobcats, salvaging 1 out of this 3-game series.
It certainly would be. And although actually the question is, did they make a change? Because I know the umpire, I think, was signaling up to the booth.
I thought it was 42. It's 47. You're right. They did make a change. 47 is Lex Kenny.
Lex Kenny, 2-way player.
Yep. I think he pitched earlier in this series.
Yeah.
He is a freshman from Canton, Georgia. So they did make the change. Garavito coming to the plate for Tampa.
Lex Kenny with a 90 mile an hour fastball velo is set on Perfect Games website.
A little bit inside on that one. Garavito 0 for 1 today. Did walk his last time up. Fouled off. One, fouled off again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That one lands just behind the dugout for Georgia College. I think it rolled off the net while doing so.
And he went flailing after that one for strike 3, dropped third strike, and they get the throw to first for the out.
Only the second strikeout of the game for the Spartans, so they've avoided that, but Garavito just fooled that time.
If you ever come out to a game here with the Spartans, you'll notice that there's netting behind the plate, as there is in all ballparks, but if it hits off to the side a little bit, it will angle off and potentially land in the stands.
So you do have a few chances
to have your
of
heads
souvenirs.
up.
Yeah. Maybe bounce off the roof once or twice, too.
Yeah. Doskow's first plate appearance. He came in as a defensive replacement for Jamarcus Lyons. Taps that one foul. Hits the bricks behind the plate and bounces back onto the field.
That's the classic check swing foul ball. Yeah. I mean, you try to pull it back, but unfortunately the ball wants to meet the bat.
One, just outside.
Very close. Georgia College fans, I think, a little disappointed, too, because that was pretty close there and a good framing attempt by Knowles.
And that one's inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Anthony Nunez on deck. Swing and a miss, will go full. Fouled off. Stays 3-2. That one's ripped out into right field. Going to fall in for a base hit for Doskow. Good piece of hitting, facing a couple 3-2 counts. We'll bring Anthony Nunez to the plate.
Doskow will be happy with that. It's his first hit as a Spartan. He had a little slump in those first 2 games, only getting on base previously with a walk, but finds the barrel and sends it to the outfield.
You know, earlier in the game, we referenced Bob Bucher, the Brewers announcer. I said he was 90. He's only 89. Sorry about that.
Just a little longer, then he'll be 90.
Still doing play-by-play for the Brewers. He doesn't do many road trips anymore. He does it without a color partner.
Yeah.
Though he does have somebody come in, fill in for him for a couple innings.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Legendary.
One of the greats.
From a far from legendary major league career, which he will tell you about. Foul down the line. Euchre had said when he was signed out of high school that the Braves presented a $2,000 offer, and he said, my parents didn't have that kind of money, so I couldn't take it. Popped up. Center field. And making the catch is Baker for the second out.
Funny thing about $2,000 back then, the prices for those college players a lot more today when it comes to...
That'd be a $100,000 bonus.
Maybe even more. And for the international players, they get millions in their signing bonuses.
There used to be, when I was living up in Madison, Wisconsin, an Oakland A's single A team. And so you've got sprinkling of prospects, bonus babies, things like that. And you'd go to the games, and you'd see some of them pulling up in 63 Ramblers needing a new muffler. And then some of them were showing up in brand new Firebirds.
Of course. That's the ones you can tell whether they're a first or second round pick, or maybe the Flyers in the 23rd and 24th.
Yep. Oh, 1 ball outside course. I don't know if you remember one of the most famous 22nd round draft picks, Ryan Sandberg. So it can happen. Not like Brock Purdy being Mr. Irrelevant in the NFL.
True. Although, did you know a Detroit team has picked one of the QBs in this year's Super Bowl? Guess which team it is?
A Detroit?
Yes. And by the way, it's not off topic.
No, okay.
It's the Detroit Tigers.
Okay, so give me that.
They had drafted again. Patrick Mahomes.
Really?
In the past.
Okay.
Of course, Mahomes chose baseball, didn't follow in his father's footsteps. Of course, his father, Pat Mahomes, had a short major league career.
Fouled off. There are not many who get drafted into a couple sports. One of the most famous, Dave Winfield, in the Hall of Fame with the Yankees and Padres, drafted in football, baseball, and basketball.
Wow, all three?
Yeah, he played basketball and baseball at Minnesota, and they took a chance on him as a tight end in the NFL. I don't remember which team, but fouled off. I guess that's a true multi-sport star if you can get drafted at
Indeed.
The professional level in 3 sports.
Bo Jackson only did 2 sports.
Yeah,
Winfield did 3.
What a slouch. He was okay.
Yeah, he was only okay.
Ones he did.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was like one of the best football players of all time and also elite on the field.
Ground ball out to second or shortstop. Spivey gets the play. Sapp bobbled it for a second. Got it over to Spivey in time. Spartans go down with nothing happening and just picked up a hit. We go to the 8th inning. And it's still 3-1 Georgia College leading Tampa.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can. And then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Top of the 8th we go. 3-1 Georgia College still on top. Jack Ike along with Taylor Stolworthy bringing you all the home games this year. And get used to this schedule if you like. The Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 6, 3, and 12. It's the next 2 weekends as well.
I'll say I enjoy not having to do a doubleheader up in the booth.
They get to be long days.
Yeah. And as much as we like baseball, it can be hard sitting down for the entire time. That's when I would need to step out for about an inning or two.
Yep, which is totally understandable.
Here we get Arnaldo an inning on the mic as well. Give him a chance. 3-1 lead for Georgia College. A 2-score lead is the most dangerous in sports.
And why
Especially,
is that?
Well, kind of the mindset where you start to grow that lead, get a little bit of complacency. Spartans will hope that Georgia College gets a little too comfortable later on, but they've done a good job of keeping focused and keeping Tampa quiet.
Tampa's been out hit 12-4 in this game. Sapp fouls that one off. He is now down 0-2. Baker and Besterman to follow.
The trio 2 for 6 today.
A little bit low.
Just a bit low. That's some great break on that. And because, four-seamers do have some break sometimes to the batter's side. But that one you could tell was a two-seamer because it really broke down and horizontally.
Looked good but high. There's only one player in the Georgia College batting order without a hit today, and that's Besterman, who will be third up. Bellflower with 3 hits, Tutton with 2, Cohen with 2, and a strikeout for Sapp. Brings Hunter Baker to the plate, the center fielder.
That's the 4th inning now for Sullivan. 3 strikeouts in that period. He's done a great job in the bullpen as a follower there for Caney. Again, he puts up good performances like this. He could find his way at the back end of the rotation this year.
Nice. That one looked like it was way outside and came in for the strike.
Really great break on that. I think it was more of a curve than a slider, but still gets in the zone, does the job.
Then he throws one down.
Baker, the lone extra base hit for either team in the game. Double back in the 6th. He'd later score.
Swing and a miss, which probably explains how they've got 12 hits, but only 3 runs.
Indeed,
11 singles.
They found a lot of singles, and Tampa has done a good job of preventing those runs from coming home.
Swing and a miss. 2 up, 2 Ks. Besterman to the plate.
This is the designated hitter, Rand Besterman.
Popped out last time, and he's also had 2 strikeouts. Last time I mentioned something like that, Baker immediately turned a double. So hopefully the curse doesn't strike again.
First pitch a little bit high. That one just missing inside. I don't know if you can hear it. We've had an inordinate amount of helicopters overhead this weekend. Swing and a miss. Definitely that was not a balloon.
Nope.
Two-one. Ground ball. Nunez takes a hop. It's going to be a long throw on its way. Dasco with the catch in the end of the inning.
That's the second time we've seen Nunez make a great throw like that. And that is not easy to get it all the way across to first in time. So great job again by Nunez.
He does it. We've ended 7.5, still 3-1. Georgia College on top of Tampa.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Sturgill is a 6'4", 190-pounder from Evans, Georgia. And Jose Cadenas to the plate. Walked and singled. Sturgill's first pitch, down the middle for a strike.
You can see Tutton ready over at third base for another bunt.
Yeah, Cadenas laid down a nice one. Ball low. Put down the good bunt, and the pitcher slipped going for it as well.
And Tutton, he was able to get it, but just not enough time to beat Cadenas.
Yeah, by then the timing was off, and ground ball foul. One, two, and how did that not hit him?
Yeah, that's my question as well. That time the slider broke behind him.
I thought it went behind his legs. He didn't bail; he just stood there. So anyway, 2-2. Ground ball, foul. Joe Urso on the one hop.
That's a G12 right there, I think. No error that time.
Unassisted. Two again. Ball outside, 3-2. Cadenas has worked it to a full count. Jordan Lala on deck for Tampa.
Top of the order for the Spartans, but those three, they're only 1 for 7 today, but they have got on base 2 other times.
Swing and a miss. Took something off of that one. And Cadenas ahead of it. Goes down swinging, one down. Lala to the plate.
Not a surprise, the walk-up song for Lala includes a la 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 la.
Ball out. No, strike. Ooh.
Very close.
I'm not the only one who thought that was outside.
I agree. I will say that Boltron has been calling a lot of those balls today, so interesting to give it to Georgia College here.
That was outside.
Both teams trying to paint those corners, but I'll say that the batters have gotten the way more often than not, so I know Serge will probably be happy to get that call there, as the count's now 1-1.
That one down the middle, strike 2 call. Sturgill in the stretch. 1-2 on the way. Again, goes behind the batter.
Second batter in a row, you see a 2-strike ball behind the batter.
First to a righty, then to a lefty. But interestingly, I guess they have enough plate discipline. They didn't bail out. Because you bail out, you get hit.
Then you get the free base.
Yeah.
So maybe you do want to bail out in the spot like that.
Yeah. 2-2. That one's way outside. 3-2. He went 3-2 on Cadenas and got the strikeout. We'll see what happens with Lala here.
Say from here, not perfect command from Sturgill, but he knows how to get the strikes when he needs to. Last year, only 3 walks in 12 innings.
Here's the 3-2. That one's definitely outside, and a walk to Jordan Lala. And Drew Earhart coming to the plate for Tampa.
Has the lone Spartan RBI, 1 for 2, and had a walk back in the 6th inning. Let's see if Lala is active in the base path, though. We know he's a very fast runner.
Ball high. And strike call.
First pitch a little high. This pitch just right.
One. Ball outside.
Lala went, but called it off. And probably a good idea. Would have been a close play. Although Lala's speed allows him to beat most of the throws. So maybe he's just trying to help get in Sturgill's head a little more.
This time he does go. Lala hits it out into right field, or Earhart hits it into right field. Lala has to hustle back as Bellflower makes the catch, 2 down.
That's the only weakness of the hit and run. You run early, and there is a out. You have to make it all the way back.
So J.D. Urso coming to the plate with 2 down.
Hit into a double play last time. Has the force out at second. No double play with 2 outs here, but hopefully for us, Urso can turn the bad run of form today around. Overall, Spartan Bat's not doing as well, hitting under the Mendoza line. We know Urso has the talent to turn around, and in a spot like this, it would be great to try to bring Lala all the way home. Lala has the speed to make it around the base paths if that ball goes far enough.
There goes Lala again. They're going to just let him take the base.
You could see Knowles there. He was, I think, a little upset that it wasn't a strike called on the pitch.
Yeah.
Less so about the stolen base. See him do a little bounce there. He said it was a close slider. It was a good little front door, but the door stayed shut.
And the pitch. Strike. We'll see if they give Lala a stolen base or catcher indifference. I'd give him a stolen base.
Yeah, they gave him a stolen base.
Okay. I don't know if many people go back to catcher indifference for something.
I think
usually if it's like a 10-0 game, and
if it's like a passed ball, that would be the only time. Probably not.
Well, if it's I know the rule is supposed to be if it's obvious you could care less that they stole the base. Maybe in a 10-0 game, and it's like, go ahead.
Yeah. Also, in that point, you might as well just record the stat, too.
Yeah. So if they have decided the catcher could have cared less. Ground ball foul. Two, fouls it off, stays alive. Just found a very small portion of the bat to nick that one.
And a good job to keep alive there, because it can be tough. You fall victim there to a two-strike slider. Does just enough to keep the at-bat going.
2-2 again. A look back at Lala. And hit him.
This time it didn't go behind him.
Sturgill's been flirting with the legs of the batters. This time he hits one. He's gone behind two of them. Tell you, when Sturgill misses, he misses.
Indeed. Also, looks like we're going to have call to the mound. Question is that call also being made to the pen? 2 outs, could try to bring someone on for a 4-out save. Out hits, only 4 that have gone on base with hits. So overall, good on base percentage. As the old money ball idea goes, getting on base is the important thing. Of course, you do like to try to get some balls in play too. That's when you can score the runs easier. In a situation like this, a walk helps, but even with Garavito, you'd probably rather get at least 1 run home.
Yep. Give him the chance to tie the game. So Glanton is ready. Cumbo steps in. Lala and Urso on base. Ground ball right back to Glanton, unfortunately. And he's going to make the easy throw to Spivey to end the inning. So Spartans go down, nothing across here in the bottom of the 8th. We played 8 full, still 3-1. Georgia College leads Tampa. Ninth inning we go. 3-1 Georgia College on top. Another pitching change for the Tampa Spartans. They bring in Jack Brodsky, a junior from Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey, transferring in from Emory University. Went to Pascack Hills High School up north. First appearance for Tampa.
As Brodsky finishes warm-up, you're mentioning some draft trivia earlier.
Yes.
So I'll give you one more.
All right.
Who is the final player from the Montreal Expos to retire?
To retire.
That was drafted by the Expos. Who's the final one to retire?
Famous?
Indeed.
I'm thinking either Andre Dawson or Gary Carter.
Nope.
Do I get another guess?
Yes, you do. But I will say, think about our discussions of multi-sport athletes.
Multi-sport, okay.
And a relatively recent retiree. I'll give you another hint.
Okay. Wow, that's somebody who was drafted.
Recently brought something home for a Tampa team.
Really? You'll have to help me out then.
I will. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Last year's starting quarterback for them, Tom Brady. Final Montreal Expos draftee to retire.
Really? Okay. I was thinking of a bat that goes sailing farther than the ball. I was thinking totally a baseball player. You did not say who played for the Montreal Expos. You said
nope,
draftee.
I made sure to specify draftee.
Yes. Yeah.
Because Brady would ultimately choose to stay in baseball, and that was a good decision if you're a Patriots fan, a decision you regret if you're a fan of any other AFC team.
Kind of like John Elway when he said he wouldn't go to Baltimore or Indianapolis at the time. Baltimore, I think it was.
Yeah.
And said, don't draft me. I'll go play baseball, and he did for the Yankees for a while. First batter is Knowles. Pitch from Brodsky. Missing.
Knowles had an RBI single back in the sixth.
Foul back. That RBI single made it 3-1.
The only blemish in Sullivan's day, a really good appearance from the bullpen for him.
Fly ball out toward Cumbo in right field. He makes the catch. Spartan pitching has been really solid all weekend long. The only 3 runs here.
Yeah, the only hiccup came from Caney with just the lucky base hits at the first inning, finding the exact holes they needed to. And Caney was able to finish out a decent 3 1/3 stint. Sullivan nearly going 5 innings afterwards. And Brodsky hopefully continuing the trend.
Cohen looks at a ball inside.
Good start for Cohen, 2 for 3 today.
Ground ball. Earhart dives. It gets under him or over him, as the case may be.
It looked like that was going to be a better ball for Doskow to get, but left it to Earhart, and Earhart, a good attempt, but just slips past him. I believe that is graded as the 13th hit of the game for Georgia College.
I have to ask when next weekend what the infielders think of diving for balls in the infield, if they like it on this versus dirt. Uniforms are way too clean.
Yeah. What if it's a little bit harder to dive with turd or dirt?
I'm wondering.
Because...
Or you may not slide as far, or maybe you slide farther.
Yeah.
Worth, the leadoff hitter in the order, coming up for the 5th time. Runner goes, ball hit. They're going to take the out at first. Cohen down to second.
Smart play, though, to have the hit and run. Because if that's not a hit and run, I bet that Brodsky makes the play to second, and they get the double play. So instead, they take 2 outs, and Cohen to second.
That's one where I'm assuming Garavito makes the call on that. They tell you which way to go with it. I think I heard somebody shout 1. Tutton, the number 2 hitter, third baseman. That's a strike.
A lot of vertical break on that pitch. Getting down into the zone from a little bit above Tutton's head.
That looked good, and it's called a strike. Tutton looks at him like, maybe not. I wouldn't have called that if I were you.
Pretty close. Probably on the line by the time it passes over the plate.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's hard to always think about, it goes right into the glove at that point. Now you got to look a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's 3 feet in front. Swing and a miss, so I think Tutton kind of figured, well, you're not helping me out, so I better swing at it. He goes down swinging. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Tampa needs 2 to tie. 3-1, Georgia College on top on TampaSpartans.tv.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Last chance for the Spartans. They are down 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Georgia College, 3 runs, 13 hits, no errors. Tampa, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors, as the Bobcats trying to pick up 1 win in this 3-game series.
Last chance saloon, the gunslingers in the Wild West. 1 more bullet in the chamber for the Spartans, hoping it'll hit. They've already taken 3 gunshots and look to recover here.
It'll be Garavito, Doskow, Nunez, the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Pretty quiet bats, actually, for Tampa this weekend. Both teams have been kept in check by the pitching staffs.
Today has been the weakest, I think, for terms of hitting for the Spartans. Only 4 hits, 5 walks, and 1 hit by pitch. They've also stranded 6 on base, though.
Nice curveball there. Tampa did have only 1 run yesterday in 9 innings. Had to get that second game-winning run in the 11th, and 1 run today. Again, he goes back to the curve, and he's ahead 0-2.
Good break there just to get over the zone. And Doskow down quickly. Or Garavito, my bad.
That one gets away. Would have been a great pitch to have a base runner. One ball, 2 strikes. Garavito waits. Glanton fires. Fouled off.
That hit actually over the top of the netting there. You can tell the pop that Garavito has in his bat.
Number 18, Dominic Arenzo. Palmer Set moves to second base. Gabriel Worth moves to third base.
Ball outside. Couple defensive replacements for Georgia College. Worth has moved to third base. Tutton is out of the lineup now. Arenzo, who had been the shortstop all weekend long, comes in at short. And Sapp, there's a ball that's going to fall. Base hit. Garavito brings the tying run to the plate. And one other move is Sapp, who had been the shortstop today, moves back to second where he had been all weekend long.
That's an important hit for the Spartans. It gets Doskow up with a runner aboard. Garavito, great start for his Spartan career this weekend. Hit the initial home run, and here, with a clutch piece of hitting to get aboard when they need it most, still 3 outs to play for the Spartans.
Doskow did single last at bat. There's a ball outside.
Someone warming up for Georgia College. They'll bring in a fireman in case they need to put something out. The Embers starting the form for the Spartans here.
Strike call, 1-1. You and I had the same reaction when we saw that first pitch go well outside. We both leaned to look at the bullpen. They're not going to mess around if it gets to be a tougher predicament. A little bit low, 2-1.
Doskow, Gulf South Conference Player of the Year. Excited to see him with the Spartans and 1105 OPS. Hopefully he can recreate those numbers here for us.
Ground ball. Worth gets one. The relay, I think he beat it. He did. They got one, got the lead runner. Doskow able to hustle it down. It was not hard hit. And Worth had to take his time, and he was almost standing on third base, so fairly long throw to get the second base bag. So just kind of a slowly evolving play allowed Doskow to beat it out at first.
Always dangerous when you see a late inning ground ball like that, but the good news was it was a slow enough play that Doskow was able to make it. Great hustle from him as well.
Brings Anthony Nunez to the plate with one out. First pitch, strike. Bobcat fans getting a little outgoing here as they're sensing what might happen. That's another strike.
You can tell they're excited. A win would get them back to 500 and leave the series with a consolation victory. Tampa's a bit better of a team than Georgia College on paper, so I know they'll be excited to get one game past them.
Ball outside. And as we mentioned yesterday, this is a regional game and important when it comes to NCAA rankings and how they're viewed in the standings when it comes to tournament time. And he rips that one. That could get in the gap. It's going to send Doskow to third, and we'll have runners on the corners. Nice solid single by Anthony Nunez and brings up Jose Cadenas to the plate.
Really well hit there from Nunez. Puts it in the gap. However, not deep enough in the gap to go extra bases or bring Doskow home. Baker right there to pick it up. But still, Doskow is able to get to third, so a very good at bat.
Yeah.
And one away, you've got a tying run now just at first base. Bring that deficit to one if you can bring Doskow home.
Not Cadenas, I take that back. It's Adam Hunt.
Cadenas is just on deck.
And actually, Adam Hunt pinch hit for McAllister Jorgensen last time up. We both missed that one. Don't even have the same body type.
Not even the same hitter, I don't think. They're different sides as well.
Then he rips that one. That'll bring in one run, and it's going to send Doskow all the way to third with the tying run.
Nunez to third. Doskow makes it home.
Yep, Doskow scores, and runners at first and third. Tying run now on third base. I kind of glanced down at the Bobcats dugout, and yes, here comes a potential pitching change.
That'll be it for Glanton. Now, obviously, they're going to want to go for a high-leverage player, potentially who we saw last time out when they were facing the Spartans. Relievers can go without a day rest if they don't go too far. Nelson had 50 pitches, so he definitely wouldn't be used today for the Spartans, but I know a few less pitches for the Bobcats, so they could make that change.
So 3-2, one out, runners on the corners. Spartans trying to come up with some last inning heroics. Adam Hunt with a big single there. Nunez with a big single just before that, and Doskow with a big single.
So 3 big plays in a row. Doskow, Nunez, and Hunt. Even though Doskow only got aboard on a threatened double play.
Yeah.
It was enough to make sure that the offense was still moving. And Nunez and Hunt were able to do the job, bring him home.
That's true. Dowskow would be a fielder's choice.
Yep. But before that, Garavito did single.
Yes. I knew there was that third hit.
Yep.
Spartans now up to 7 hits on the day.
That's what I said earlier. It's about hitting at the right time.
Yep. Finally, the Spartans have bunched a couple together. This is Jose Cadenas. And he has walked, singled, and struck out.
Now, what I think Cadenas would love, if he could get Nunez with a bit of a lead, drop a bunt down the first base line. Cause the chaos.
Going that way?
Because the only thing you don't want if you're Cadenas is a double play. If you can put the ball to the outfield, boom, we got a tied game. He comes home. If you put the ball in the infield, you just have to run, and that's a good thing. Cadenas, one of the fastest players on the team.
Is pulled in at third. He wants to play at the plate if possible, but it also means, and he is thinking of bunting, and it's going to go foul. Wow. Probably lucky it did go foul because Spivey was waiting there to make the tag.
Would have been a tied game.
It might have been, yeah, he would have tied.
Because Nunez, I think, was safe at home, but Cadenas was definitely out by a mile at first, but that was the job, just to tie the game.
I'd say do it again. Because
they're not going to catch it twice, will they?
Stay at, I would, because Spivey's got to stay at first. Here's the pitch, shows the bunt again. Get this one's good. It's going to tie the game. They got the out at first. Cadenas with the perfect bunt has tied the game at 3, and it'll bring Jordan Lala to the plate for a chance to win it.
Georgia College opened the scoring with small ball singles. Tampa ties it with some small ball bunting.
Even smaller ball.
Yep. The smallest ball you can get.
Yeah.
What a play by Cadenas. A perfect sacrifice. And we will at least have extra baseball here.
That's somebody who knows how to bunt because he trusted him and he had to get it down the first base line because Spivey had to hold the base runner.
In the modern game today in the MLB, no more pitchers hitting in the National League. People are saying, "Oh, is the bunt going to be gone?" Well, no. In plays like that, you want to have a player who can drop down a bunt and bring a runner home.
Jordan Lala,
a forgotten art, if you will.
He has walked twice today, flown out twice. A base hit here, and the Spartans probably have a win. Shallow outfield, infield normal depth. Palma now running for Tampa. Speed on the base paths.
That's going to be the goal. Put it to the outfield and make it all the way home.
Glanton looks in. He stayed in. They did not make the pitching change. They go back to second, but Palma is back.
TJ Palma, of course, the freshman outfielder. Or it was his freshman season last year. He's a sophomore.
Out of Pleasantville, New York.
Good to see him making his first appearance here.
Chance to score a winning run. Lala just kind of flails at that one. Fouls it off. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Do we end it here or do we play 10 or more?
Lyons was the hero yesterday. Can Lala do the same today?
1 ball, 2 strikes. Palma with the lead. Check back. Outside. 2-2. Arienzo at shortstop doing his best to shorten Palma's lead, but by doing that, he opens up a big gap between third and second base. 2-2. Swing and a miss. We'll play extra baseball, folks, but that's the good news is we get to play extra baseball.
Indeed, we always love a little bit of extra baseball. And it's going to be 3-4-5 for Georgia College coming right up.
Spartans pick up 2 in the bottom of the 9th. It's 3-3. We'll be right back.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Extra baseball, folks. We are into the 10th inning. Now a 3-3 baseball game. Georgia College, 3 runs, 13 hits, no errors. Tampa picking up 2 in the bottom of the ninth. Now has 3 runs, 7 hits, and a couple errors. Brodsky back on the mound. Garavito got a big single to start the ninth inning for Tampa behind the plate.
It was a lot of fun to see what happened at the end there. I think the coolest part was the Cadenas bunt to tie the game. Perfectly placed down the first base line, and it was able to help send the Spartans to extra innings.
It's going to be Bellflower, the number 3 hitter, then Spivey, followed by Sapp.
Bellflower 3 for 4, a great day for him at the plate. Also had an RBI back in the first inning.
Brought the first run of the game in 2.5 hours ago, first pitch. And that one is looping to Lala, and he makes the catch. That one looked like it had something going, but then it kind of replicated one of my golf shots and sliced over to Lala.
That's the time where the slice, you do not want it. It is not nice.
In baseball or golf.
Yep. Sometimes if you aim it a little bit further to the right, you get a good slice, but that's when you only can be sure you're going to get the slice.
Right. Spivey, big swing and a miss.
We've seen Spivey doing a great job throughout the entire series. 1 for 4 at the plate, pretty good day, but he's had great range to make some great plays at first base. Weird to see someone as good defending there, also hitting 4.
Strike call. You know, one thing I just was noticing, Spivey's back foot is right on the back line. With this turf, these are painted in. How many times have you seen players like try to scratch that line out so that the umpire can't tell exactly where you're standing? Can't do that anymore.
Have to fit, yeah.
Digging up the batter's box.
That's why you've got the replaceable turf in the batter's box. It's a high traffic area with a lot of action, I can say, with that.
Yes. 1-2. Fouled off. They told us that the high traffic spots like the mound, batter's box, some of the fielding positions will get replaced every couple months. They just wear out.
And you can already see, I think, a difference. Like, you've already seen quite a bit of traffic at home plate than in terms of the infield.
Fouled off. Now, there are those little black pellets that are there, and they have to rake those because they'll tend to congregate in certain spots over time from where people are standing. So they rake them and kind of spread them out again.
That's also what will get on the clothes instead of dirt.
If you notice, like around second base, it's a little darker where a lot of the pellets have congregated. That one's hit out. That might be Gapper, or is it Cadenas? No, he's got plenty of room.
These are well-hit balls, but again, Tampa just able to track them down so easily in the outfield.
Well, what's happening now that we weren't seeing earlier is they're hitting them to the players.
Yep.
Instead of away from them.
That's what Tampa's been hoping for. The average for Georgia College today has gone down to .325.
Sapp now to the plate. His 5th at bat. First pitch is a ball. He's got a couple strikeouts, a base hit, and a ground out. Tapped foul, 1-1. All right, my wife has given me permission to stay for extra innings.
Perfect. If not, Ronaldo could have filled in as well if we needed.
Yeah, he was ready. Fouled off. A couple years ago, way back, I think maybe even before we were married, I was playing in a City League game, and I was supposed to meet my wife at a party after the game, told her it would take about 2 hours. Well, we went into like 15 innings, and I showed up at like 4 hours later, and she was really mad because she said, "You didn't tell me you had to keep playing if it was tied."
That's the art of baseball. You never know if a game is going to end in 2 hours or 6 hours.
Yes.
I know my team at Elmira, they once had a 27-inning game.
Ooh. Wow.
That was back when Earl Weaver was manager.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, Earl Weaver did manage the Pioneers for a short period in the past. I believe it was back when they were an Orioles affiliate.
But I guess I was baffled that she didn't know.
Yeah.
I said, "I'm sorry I'm late. I know I'm really late, but..."
Although you almost played a second game at that rate.
Mm-hmm. Ground ball out to Earhart. Takes a hop off his chest. Tries to make the throw. And Drew kind of bending over in disgust on that one.
Can't blame him. That's just a really hard ball. He got in front of it, but that's where you just miss it with the glove because you can't tell how fast it's going.
Yeah. I guess the other thing I wonder, another thing to ask these guys next week, is on a ball like that, off of this, does it skip more than it would off dirt? Or, I mean, they talk about truer hops.
Yeah, how much does it lose speed as well? Does it kick up because it kicks up less dirt, it doesn't slow down as much.
Right.
That's
so does
going to
it
be
skip and get to you sooner?
Exactly. But a good job by Earhart. He actually made the throw back to first. A little off target, but it wasn't too far behind.
So with 2 outs, a runner on first now, and at the plate is Baker. Swing and a miss. Ball high. As we were talking about the black pellets, look around pitcher's mound, you can see a lot more black with the orange, whereas you look out at the infield, most of the infield is pretty much all orange looking. Two and one. 2 and 2.
Good job there to get Baker going a little early on that swing. Chance to get out of the inning right here.
Spartans will send up 2, 3, 4 in the bottom of the 10th. Look good. It is good. Strikeout call. And Baker, I don't know if he's upset with himself or upset with the call, but it looked pretty good from here, but we're not umpires. Anyway, the inning is over regardless. We played 9.5. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th. Tied at 3s on TampaSpartans.tv. Bottom of the 10th, it'll be Earhart-Urso combo. That's the heart of the order, 2, 3, 4. In a tie game, we played our second consecutive extra inning game. Tampa winning yesterday 2-1 in 11 when Jamarcus Lyons singled through with the bases loaded.
The unfortunate news is Lyons won't be able to replicate it. He was pulled earlier in the game, had a collision with Cohen.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be okay, but still disappointing to see. Hopefully he'll be all good for next weekend's games.
I think so. He stayed in and played did he play another inning and then they took him? Yeah. Dasco, as though, acquitted himself very well at first base and at the
Of course. He's played there before Valdosta State, doing a good job here with the Spartans. Meanwhile, Georgia College, Mason Brown enters the mound. Last season, 16 strikeouts, 11 walks, and 18 innings.
Lefty goes inside to Drew Earhart.
Also notice, similar to Dalton Ross, lower arm release, close to sidearm.
Similar build, too. Earhart pops it up, heading out into the outfield. It looks like Baker, center fielder, drifts into left center and makes the catch. We've got one down.
You can tell immediately that Earhart didn't like it off the bat, which is a shame. Great batter, but he will fall to 1 for 4 today.
Brings J.D. Urso to the plate.
He was hit with a pitch last time, still looking for his first hit of the game. He's definitely due for one here.
First pitch. Ball 1. That one looks good. Call strike. A little bit high. Spartans looking for a base runner. That's all it took last inning to get things going. Then they started bunching hits together. That looks good. 2-2. JD waits. 2-2 on the way. Way outside, full count. And the payoff pitch. Inside, hit him on the kneecap, maybe. I hope it wasn't the kneecap, but it doesn't seem to matter.
Looks all good as he walks over to first, but it looks like it hit him on the leg that time.
Well, the way it sounded, it wasn't fleshy.
Yeah, which is good.
It was bony.
Well, that's also not as good because that means it probably did hit the kneecap if it sounded more bony.
Kneecap or shin.
But Urso looks
maybe
good.
Tomorrow he'll be sporting
just put some ice on it after the game. It'll be fine.
Walk it off, yeah.
Cumbo in the game again.
Rub some dirt on it. Well, we got a base runner, and E.J. Cumbo, lefty against lefty, the first pitch. Inside.
The front door pitches are going to be very deadly against Cumbo. You mentioned he likes to step further up in the box.
You can see that. His back foot is almost halfway up the box. His front foot almost to the top of the box.
Facing someone with a slightly closer to a slide arm release, you're going to have very little time to see exactly where that ball is going.
Two balls, no strikes. And that's hit. That is hit toward the scoreboard. Right field, game-winning shot by E.J. Cumbo. And the Spartans in 10 have beaten Georgia College 5-3.
Platoon weakness? What platoon weakness?
Walk-off, game-winning home run for E.J. Cumbo. Second home run of the year for the Spartans. They sweep the series against Georgia College 3-0 and win this one 5-3. A couple games that went into extra innings. Jack Brodsky will pick up the win for Tampa.
And there's the Gatorade bucket
Gatorade for E.J. Cumbo. That was hit. That was a no-doubter when it left the bat. The lefty against the lefty, and it didn't work out for Georgia College, and it worked out well for the Tampa Spartans.
7 home runs last year for Cumbo. He gets his first of this season when the Spartans need it most.
Tampa, 5 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors in the game. Georgia College, 3 runs, 13 hits, no errors. The Spartans scored 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 9th, and 2 in the 10th. Georgia College 2 in the first. That lead held up for a long time. They added 1 more in the 6th, but that was it for their scoring, and the Spartans with 2 in the 9th, 2 in the 10th, pick up the 5-3 win.
It's not about who gets the most hits. It's about who gets the right hits at the right time, and that home run was perfectly timed.
It had been small ball that had gotten the Spartans back into this game. It was the long ball that wins it.
And in fact, maybe even 3 true outcomes, because hit by pitch, that gets a potential winning run on base. But even if Urso was out, that would have been a 4-3 win after that combo solo shot.
All right, that'll do it for us. Quincy University from Illinois coming in here next Friday. It's Quincy on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Game times are 6, 3, and noon.
And for any Georgia College fans watching, we thank you for tuning in with us this weekend. They will be facing another Sunshine State Conference foe, Eckerd, as they travel to take on, or actually they won't be traveling. The Tritons will be headed to Georgia. Say hi to Joe Muzio for me if he's there. And yeah, we'll be excited to see what happens next.
All right, for Arnaldo, Taylor Stolworthy, this is Jack Ike saying thanks for joining us. You've been watching another Spartan win on TampaSpartans.tv.